Welcome back to the online sessions on fuzzy logic. So we'll continue with our sessions from what we left over in the last class. So in this session, we try to cover commutative property and associative property. Okay, so that means once again the commutative property, associative property are normally going to be same in comparison with the classical set theory. So associative property tells about A union B with union C becomes equal to A union with B union C will become same, and this property is going to be same in the case of fuzzy sets as well. So when you apply intersection also the properties is going to be same. So these two we normally going to verify. This is what associative property. And what is commutative property? A union B is equal to B union A and A union B is equal to B union A. So that means both of them are going to be same in the case of the fuzzy sets. So these all these properties which are in white color, they are all going to be same with the classical set theory, and the properties which has been shown with yellow color is going to be different in the fuzzy set theory. That is what the main conclusion that we have to have compulsorily. So that means we have to prove that the LHS is equal to RHS in the commutative property to fulfill commutative property and also to fulfill the associative properties as well. So let us continue our discussion on this particular properties. So the properties commutative property, if the sets are going to be crisp sets, A union B is equivalent to B union A. So same is the case with the fuzzy sets. If A and B are fuzzy sets, then A union B becomes equal to simply B union A. So let us try to understand this with the examples. So let us consider two examples. One is going to be a triangular membership function. Another one is going to be a Gaussian membership function. Well, the values of triangular function is same as the previous examples 2, 5, and 7. And a Gaussian function values are going to have 3, comma 0.8. So with these values, say we are going to plot the function here. Now, the member functions we can write as A is equal to integral of mu A x by x, and B is equal to integral of mu B x by x. So both these representations are same. See the functions here, it is triangular function. Here it is a Gaussian function. But the representation for membership for fuzzy sets is represented simply by using integrations. Now it looks to be same. That means by just looking into these two integral equations, you really cannot figure out that A is for triangular function, B is for Gaussian function. So basically a Gaussian function is a bell-shaped curve. Okay. So that means we cannot really, it is only just a representation of the representation of fuzzy set in a continuous set fashion. If the set is going to be a continuous set, then we normally going to represent this particular fuzzy set. Okay. So let us try to analyze this now. So this blue color is going to be set A, green color is going to be set B, and you have to perform the operation A union B is going to be, you have to perform. So for this, what is the basic criteria we are going to follow for A union B? It is going to be max of the membership function of A and B, where this A and B are normally going to have the values corresponding to the universal set or universe of discourse. So this is what the functionality we have. Now let us start going into this. A union B means what? Max of mu A, comma max of mu A, comma mu B. If it is going to be B union A, max of mu B, comma mu A. That is what the statement that we can make. Now let us try to see this particular union operation now. So when you join these two, what is that which is going to happen? See, this Gaussian function is starting early than this particular triangular function. Triangular function is starting from 2. If you observe this carefully, see this triangular function is starting with 2 and a Gaussian function is starting with in between 0 and 2. That means somewhere at 0.5 itself it is simply starting. So definitely the Gaussian function in this range from 0 to 2, Gaussian function is more than the triangular function. So therefore, we can just have that relationship as something like the Gaussian function will be coming as the maximum value over here. Then it is getting the maximum value at something 3. This is getting a maximum value at 5. That means the maximum value of B is going to be more at vertex than A. So therefore, you're going to have this. Then also, it is still not yet reached to the maximum. So up to the intersection point of these two, right? This B is greater. After this, what will happen now? This A is normally going to become the, that means B is becoming smaller, and see here A is increasing. In this intersection point, after this, A is increasing and B is decreasing. Therefore, among these two, A is maximum. So therefore, A will be simply coming as the function. So we are normally going to get the A union B graph as going to be something like this. Initially, it is going to be like a bell-shaped curve. Then it is going to be followed by a triangular function. So that is going to be the A union B resultant commutativity associate property. So that means finally what we can have now, this is what going to be the function that we are going to have. So initially it is going to be like a bell curve, then followed by a triangular signal, which is nothing but A union B for us. So A union B is equal to max of mu A of x mu B of x. B union A is equal to max of mu A of x mu B of x mu A of x. This is what we are normally going to have as a commutative property for A union B. Then after this, let us go into B union A now. So for B union A, what is the criteria we can write? Max of mu B of x comma mu A of x. That is the criteria that we have to follow. That means, first of all, we'll consider B, then we consider A. We have to find out B union A. So the formula criteria is going to be same. So the first one is going to be the membership function for set B. This is membership function for set A. Okay, these two we have to simply compare. Now let us see the resultant of these two. How we are normally going to have it over here. When it is union, which is bigger? Once again, same, B is bigger. So therefore, B part will be coming. Then later on, A is coming. So when you apply union of these two, once again, we are going to get the same kind of a functionality. Okay, so thereby we can say this is nothing but B union A. So from these two relationships, we can say B union A union B is something like this. B union A, we got something like this. With this, we can say A union B becomes equal to B union A. So hence we prove that it satisfies the property known as the commutative property. The fuzzy sets are going to satisfy the commutative property, just like the commutative property that has been satisfied with the which set with the classical sets. Okay, now next point is what? Let us look the same uh, commutativity with a discrete set. Let us take a discrete set. A is going to be something like this, B is going to be something like this, and we have to prove A union B is equal to B union A for this particular set. So in the exam, if you get a question, state and prove, then you have to assume the values for A, you have to assume the values for B, set B, then you have to simply prove the condition of the associativity of the commutativity property. The relationship between these two, A and B, with respect to commutativity is the one which you have to simply prove. Okay, so A union B is equal to B union A. So LHS side is A union B, RHS side is going to be B union A is the relationship we have from this. This is LHS, this is RHS. So what is the criteria we have? A union B means for max of here member function of A with the member function of B. Then the B union A means for max of member function of B with the member function of A. This is the relationship which we have. Now let us start looking into this now. So first of all, A union B. What is the criteria? Whichever is maximum, that part you have to take among these two. So among A and B here, maximum is 0.8, here 0.5, 0.7, 0.6. So therefore 0.8, 0.5, 0.7, 0.6 is the relationship we have. Then similarly, B union A, whichever is maximum, that will be coming. That means these two sets are normally going to satisfy the commutative property. Sorry, commutative property, yes. So it is going to satisfy the commutative property. Hence, we can say that the commutative property of union for union is simply verified. Next, commutative property for intersection. A intersection B is equal to B intersection A. And for fuzzy sets also, it is going to satisfy the same relationship. So let us start analyzing the same relationship. Now, same functions we'll take now, same member functions we'll take. A is a triangular function and B is going to be a Bell function. So same relationship we have, only thing is we're going to have intersection. So when we take intersection, what is the criteria? The criteria is minimum condition, minimum of member function of A with B, and for B intersection A, minimum of member function of B with A. That is what the criteria we are normally going to satisfy, has to be satisfied. So let us start looking into the minimum values of these two. Now when you have an intersection of these two, what is the minimum of these two now? See, it is starting early, it is starting late. So minimum is going to be 0. A is 0. That means A is going to be the minimum. That means obviously A is going to be the minimum value. Then B is starting here from the beginning, and somewhere after 2, A is starting. So A is starting like this after 2. This is A actually. This is B actually. Now what is the intersection of this? Is the minimum from up to here to here. A is minimum. Then after this, A is increasing. See, B is decreasing. So we normally going to have the Bell function here. That means curvature nature. That means here you're going to have a semi. This is up to from here to here triangular form, and next is going to be bell curve form. This is going to be this red figure is nothing but the intersection A intersection B for us. Okay, so this scratched line is nothing but the A intersection B. Similarly, you have to go for B intersection. Similarly, you have to go for B intersection A. Okay. So let's try it for B intersection A. So finally, the relationship after we join these two, what we get? This is the relationship we have, triangular in this, and you can just simply write down this relationship. Then after this B intersection A, what about B intersection A? Let us see. Now B is going to be a Bell function and A is going to be a triangular function. Same relationship now. Criteria is minimum criteria we're going to have. That means now once again the criteria remains same. That means A is anyway less than B. So whatever A is there, that will be coming first, then B will be coming. So therefore, we simply going to get the same relationship here, which is the resultant integration of these two. So B union A. So what is B union A? That we have got same function. That means A union B becomes A intersection B. Sorry, A intersection B becomes equal to now B intersection A now because of this particular relationship. So with this we can say that the commutative property has been simply verified. See this now. This is the resultant for A intersection B, which is equivalent to B intersection A. This is nothing but B intersection A. So therefore, B intersection A becomes equal to A intersection B, and A intersection B becomes equal to B intersection A. So both are exactly same. And hence we say that the commutative property for intersection is verified for the fuzzy sets, and they both of them are going to have the equality property. So both satisfy each other for equality property. Then similar relationship we can have for discrete fuzzy sets. So let us go with the discrete fuzzy sets. So same sets I may take. A is going to be something like this, 0.7 by 1, 0.5 by 2. Same set, whatever we have taken earlier, same set we can take for B as well. Intersection means what? Minimum criteria we're going to have. Same relationship that you can have. Then next, what is going to have now? A intersection B is equal to what? Relationship we can write? Same. Minimum of A and B. Now, what is minimum of A and B? 0.7. Minimum of A and B is 0.3 here. Minimum of these two is 0.5. Here, these two is 0.5. So, A intersection B is something like 0.7, 0.3, 0.1, and 0.5. Exactly same relationship we get for B intersection A as well. So, therefore, A intersection B is verified with equal to B intersection A. Since it is verified, we say that it supports the commutative property. Fuzzy set A and B supports the commutative property. So that is the property that we can normally going to have. The next property is going to be associativity property for unions. And next we have associativity property for intersections as well. So first of all, we deal with the associative property for unions. So if you consider A and B are going to be the crisp sets, Then A union B of A union B with union with C is equal to A union with B union C. Now, same relationship holds good for the fuzzy sets also. If A, B, and C are fuzzy sets, then the same relationship is normally going to holds good. That is what called the associativity property for the union function. So A is nothing but A, B, C have been represented with a continuous member function relationship. So let us take A is going to be same triangular function, and B is going to be a Gaussian function, and C has been taken as a trapezoidal function. So here B is starting early, then A after B gets starts, after some time A is starting. After A gets starts, after some time the C is simply starting. So these are the member functions for set A, B, and C we have. So let us try to go with the associative property. First of all, A union B union with C can be written as equal to max of, first of all you should get the max of A union B, then that will be coming, the resultant of these two is applied with C. So max of that. Okay, so something like a nested statement we are going to get here. So first of all, we have to cope up with A union B. So already we have performed this operation called A union B to designate the commutative property. So let us solve for the same thing now. As it is union, what is the criteria we have? Maximum is the criteria for union operation. So for A union B, you have to join these two. So whichever is B maximum, that will be coming. B is starting earlier, so B is going to be maximum at the earlier part. Then as a later part here, what happens? This is nothing but A part. This is nothing but B part. So B and A are intersecting here. After this, B after this A is increasing, B is decreasing. So therefore, whichever is maximum, that will be coming as the resultant of the union. So therefore, we are going to get this function as earlier. So therefore, earlier we got the same function, something like this. So we'll be once again going to get the same function. So this is nothing but max of mu A and mu B we have got. So this function has to be used with another function C to find out the resultant value for this particular association. Okay. Now let us go with this. C is going to be a trapezoidal function. So we should perform this particular operation now. So let us start doing with this operation. Once this operation is performed, now how it will be now? A union B is something like this. With values are important now. See here before 6, somewhere in between 4 and 5, you have the maximum value for this triangular function. Then this triangular function is simply decreasing here. Somewhere at 7, it is dropping here. It is starting at 4. Somewhere at 6, it is reaching at maximum. So somewhere at 6, it is reaching at maximum. So it's going to make up with this. So we have union. Union means what? Whichever is bigger, that will be taking. Up to here, this A union B is bigger, maximum. Then later on, C is maximum than this, because this is decreasing, this is increasing. So therefore, up to here, it will be coming here, then it is going to follow the function C. So this is the resultant called A union B union with C. Okay, all right. Then next we should cope up with the next function A union with B union C. So B union C we have to find out. So what is B? So this is B, this is C. So you have to find out B union C first. So this is B, this is C. What is B union C? Once again, same thing now. It is going to be trapezoidal function. This is maximum now. Gaussian function is maximum. Then you're going to have a trapezoidal function from 4 onwards. That means this is a Gaussian function. This is a trapezoidal function. So up to here, this Gaussian is maximum. After this, the C is maximum. So therefore, up to here, it will be Gaussian function. Later on, it is a trapezoidal function. This is called B union C for us. It has to be done with now this B union C should be done should be operated with A Okay, A union, B union C we have to perform now here. So already we have A union B with union C is this function. That means whatever we do here, union with this function with A should be of same value. So let us try to see this. So, so this is the function A union B union C already we have. So A union B union C we have to find out now. So for finding out this, let us start doing this. So B union C is this, A is this. So B union C is starting at which point? At 2. It is starting at it's starting before 2. So before 2 means what? It is maximum. So definitely the once again the Bell function you normally going to get, that is called Gaussian function. After that A is starting at 2, A is starting at 2, it is increasing now. All right. So this is the function that you're going to write. So from here to here it is Gaussian function. So bell curve you're going to get. After this, your A is increasing than B union C, than this function. So therefore, the value of A, the part of A will be coming over here. So up to here, A is increasing. Then later on, what is happening? This A is decreasing, whereas this B union C is increasing. So this part will simply take over as the value. So thereby we'll be getting these two, this particular relationship, this particular graph. Now, if you see, observe carefully, these two graphs are exactly same. It is starting at 0. This is also starting at 0. Okay, and it is landing at 9, landing at 9 value, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so same function we have got. That means we can say that simply A union B is equal to A union B union C is equal to once again A union with B union C. So A union B union C is equal to A union with B union C. These two are same now. So as shown in these two plots, we can say associative property for unions is verified for the fuzzy sets. So with these two basic graphs, we can just conclude that this relationship holds good. Since the relationship holds good, it simply satisfies the associative property. The fuzzy sets A, B, and C are going to satisfy the associativity property. So this is the conclusion that we can make. Then let us start looking into associativity with respect to the discrete fuzzy sets. So we can just take A, B, and C now. That means the relationship is going to be same. You should union means what? Maximum value to find out. So same equation I can write as earlier for union operation. So let us start looking into this now. What is A union B? Whichever is max, 0 0.8, 0 0.5, 0 0.7, 0 0.6 will be coming as A union B. Union C, what is C? Whichever is maximum among this value and C, that is 0 0.8, 0 0.7, 0 0.7, 0 0.9 is the relationship here that I'll be getting. Similarly, B union C and same relationship. So these two are going to become same totally. So therefore, we can say that A union B associated with union C is equal to A union associated with B union C are going to be same. Therefore, it satisfies the associativity property. Next, last case is going to be the associativity for intersection. A intersection, B intersection, C is equal to intersection, B intersection C. So this also should hold good. Okay, let us start looking into the intersection point. Once again, we'll take the same membership functions for A, B, and C, and we'll just test this for the associativity for intersection. So first of all, we have to find out A intersection B. A is this, B is this. You have to find the intersection of these two first. So intersection means, remember, it is a minimum function criteria. The functional criteria is minimum. So let us start looking into this. Among these two, what is now? This is nothing but our B. This is nothing but A. Now among these two, which is the minimum? 2 is the minimum because it is 0 totally. Right. Then it is more. Maximum value is coming here. This is less. So therefore, triangular function will be followed. Then later on, A is more than B. So therefore, whatever is there in A, sorry, this is intersection. No, intersection means minimum. So among this B and A, which is minimum, B is minimum. So we'll be getting this curve B. So this is nothing but A intersection B. You should perform A intersection B intersection C now. So this is C function. So to find out A intersection B intersection with C. So this is the functionality we have. Now let us see this. A intersection B is this function we have. Intersection C. C is starting at 4, so we're going to start this at 4, and this is the trapezoidal function we have. So we have to use a minimum among these two. What is the minimum among these two that you have to follow? So up to 4, what is minimum? C is minimum. So therefore up to 4, C is minimum. After this, up to this point, C is also minimum. After this point, C is increasing, A intersection B is decreasing. So we're going to get this. So this particular function is nothing but A intersection B intersection C. Now, reverse should also be true. That is B intersection C intersection A should be equal to this relationship. So let us start with B intersection C now. We should find out B intersection C. B is a Gaussian, C is a trapezoidal. So B is a Gaussian, C is a trapezoidal. This is Gaussian function. Draw the Gaussian function, draw the trapezoidal function, and look for the minimum value. Which is the minimum? Trapezoidal is minimum up to here. This is trapezoidal minimum. Then later on, your this Gaussian function is minimum. So therefore, Gaussian relationship will be coming over here. Then after this, it will be intersected with A. This you have to find out. A intersection B intersection C. So see here, A is starting at 2, A is starting at 2, maximum value reaching at 5, maximum value is normally going to reaching at 5. Then here this is starting at 4 and simply increasing and dropping at around 5, 5.5 and coming down. So whichever is the minimum among these two will be coming, right? So up to 4 it is, this red one is minimum called B intersection C. After this also, this is all the minimum. So once again, same, whichever is minimum among these two, this is larger value. So only this graph we're going to get. That means these two are going to be same. Since these two are same, we simply say that, A intersection with C is equal to B intersection with B intersection C. So it simply says that it satisfies the property of associativity for intersection. So similarly, I can go with the discrete fuzzy set ABC. Same discrete fuzzy sets I can take here for ABC. So intersection means minimum value. Same relationship is normally we use for as a criteria to find out the appropriate set, resultant set of this particular operation. Okay. A intersection B intersection C is equal to minimum of this particular function. So intersection B intersection C is equal to be this. So whichever is minimum among A intersection A and B, in A and B minimum, what is minimum between A and B? A is 0.7, B is 0.8. This A is 0.7 is minimum. Among these two, 0.3 is minimum. This is 0.1, this is 0.5. So 0.7, 0.3, 0.1, 0.5. Intersection with C. So among this A intersection B and C, whichever is the minimum. So 0.4, 0.3, 0.1, 0.5 is the result. Now same result we are going to get for this relationship. So since these two holds good, we simply call this as a associative property for intersection is simply verified. So with this, we complete the basic sets which we have in the fuzzy set theory. So one more session we'll take to complete the entire fuzzy set properties. So please practice all these particular things with your book. Okay, and try to state the properties and prove the properties with the explanations whatever that I have given it to you. Thank you very much for the today's session.